Hi. Hi, happy day. Hey, happy day. Today is Thursday, January 16th. It's 7:18 right now. I got therapy at 8, so I'll try not to be too long-winded, but I have things to say. Um, apparently. Not even really not even me. I have things rattling around in my head, which I'm going to say. First things first. The number 432. 432 has been like I've been getting 432 and I'm gonna still apply it to myself. I'm gonna still do my work and my oh hi. Thank you for visiting my channel. If you're new here, my name is Miriam. I'm an oracle. I'm a numerologist. I'm prophet. Blah blah blah. For whatever reason, I get words that come out of my face and I say them on camera, and for some reason, you're gonna resonate with them. Most likely, if you're here, you've been seeing the number 432 or 717. Um, Honestly, both. It kind of like around each other. 432 is a 9. It is a 9 through 4, the diligence, the hard work. 3, which is fun and socializing and co-creation. And 2, which is partnerships and patience and destiny and thankfulness. Then you go to 7-2, which is about the spirit. 4 and 7, or 4 and 3, and 3 and 4. So having fun and working hard and having fun often it will lead to 7, which is purpose, fulfillment, drive, inner wisdom, honoring your truest self. And 2, you're destined for it. Quite literally, this is a partnership within yourself. And so by doing these things, by building that partnership in yourself, you don't really care about what other people got going on. You just don't. You're not wondering, hey, is this guy doing whatever? Is he acting some type of way because of this? Is he whatever because of that? I don't know, is he? Like whenever somebody's like, oh, what I notice a lot too about like when people are dealing with feminine energy, a lot of times like they'll be like, am I cursed? Did they hex me? No. Like even if they did, even if they actively was like, and now I'm gonna put this together, and put that together, and put this together, and now boom, I'm hexing this person specifically. I guarantee you the biggest part of that power is the fact that you think that they're doing it. There is nothing more powerful than your own hex on yourself, especially whenever it's a mental mantra. Blah 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 hexed. Blah blah blah. Blah 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 hex. Blah blah blah. Just even the thinking, oh, hexes are out there and this is what it's gonna do to me and whatever. Like, it's no joke. You're the one hexing yourself. If you're worried about being hexed, I promise you're the one who's hexing yourself. Like literally, some person could sit down in front of you, do a whole hexing spell at you. And if you're like, oh no, they ain't doing a hexing spell. Like, don't get me wrong. There's a difference between moving in ignorance or without a naivete and not realizing that energy is coming at you in a negative way. Because that happens. We feel when people's negative energy is there, but a lot of times you aren't picking up on their hex magic or their black magic. You're picking up on your own. Because a lot of times that's the energy. And even if somebody really despises you and they're like, every time they see you, the majority of the feelings that you're feeling is in response to somebody not liking you or somebody not understanding that you're not the villain. When it comes to the 717, that's going to be a 6. And that is 6 through 717, which is spirituality. That is initiated through spirituality. what I like about angel numbers or sandwich numbers is that like a lot of times it's like, oh, you wanted this? Well, you better start doing this. Oh, you want to start relaxing? Well, you better start relaxing. I was watching this video about how if you're sitting, it's harder for you to start moving, and if you're moving, it's harder for you to start sitting. There's like it's Newton's law of physics, like a lot of object in motion will stay in motion, and object not in motion will stay not in motion unless another force is acted on by it. But you know, I'm not getting into that. Um, but essentially, it's just like getting your momentum built up. This is like a hand bike that I'm doing right here, but it's got a really high resistance. But then once I've done it enough, eventually it starts just carrying me with it. So then I'm just like, whoa, shoot, my arms are being pulled. And there is this deep, deep love that is available to you through simply looking within, looking how awesome you are, looking at what your purpose is. And I get, it's kind of like a lot to be like, oh, what's my purpose? And now I have to do this thing. And it's not just one thing forever. Like, literally, for some people, their purpose is to do as many different things as possible. And some people's purpose is to do one thing, but they're always doing so many things. Like, lots of times, confirmation work. If you feel like you are unhappy in your life or no longer content and you're doing something a certain way, 656 as I say this, okay? So, say if you're somebody who's supposed to be chilling and doing one thing for your whole life, yet you've never had a stable job or you've never had the same space. You've never had any, like, it's always been and you aren't happy right now. That is a sign, perhaps, that you're not working within your purpose, that you're not working in honoring yourself. The opposite is also true. If you're supposed to be doing a lot of things, a lot of times you won't want to go anywhere. If you're supposed to be traveling and moving around and and being seen and all that, guarantee you're a hermit. Guarantee you're sitting there, especially if you aren't happy with your life right now. Now, if you are sitting by yourself and doing the same thing forever and and you are happy, that means you were on the right path. Don't fix what ain't broke. Okay? If you are doing a bunch of things and you were happy, that means you were doing what you're supposed to do. And I don't just mean like, yay, I'm smiling all the time, but like even whenever you're laying down in bed, you're not stressing, you're able to sleep, you have a regular diet, you're pooping regularly, you're in a good mood. Like these are things like that show that you're homeostasized, And and then I'm hearing about eating, overeating. Like just weird relationship with food in general. Okay. Okay, so it's really difficult. A big reason why I even was like, okay, I'll do 432, I'll do 432, because 432 has been like coming up. 432 hertz for healing frequencies, and 432 the number. I lived in Odessa, Texas for a while. That area code's 432. So those are the things that do come up for me a lot. And as a 9 life path, I'm always like, oh yeah, that makes sense. There's 9, and I might have a 4 and a 3 and a 2. I got a 432. But the journey that you're being set on does require this foundation within joy and your partnerships within yourself, like to be able to create and to cast joy within yourself. 727 as I say this. Just turned 728, okay? But it's like you are afraid of the power within you because you're afraid you're going to take advantage of people because you've been taken advantage of, and you're just not that person. Like, you wouldn't even worry about it if you weren't a good person. I feel like I say that a lot. I feel like I say it on repeat, but it's true. It's like bad people don't worry about being bad people. Um, yeah, I think it's time for a celebration. A celebration to honor yourself in a way that isn't egotistical, that isn't self centered, just simply, well, it is self centered actually. You know, those words together, they're like, oh, you're selfish, you're self centered, you're this. And like, and the words that people praise, like they're mad whenever you're selfish, you're mad whenever you're self centered. Ugh. But when you're selfless, they love that you're giving yourself and pouring so much that you have nothing left. They love that you give and give and give until you're sick. Of course, they love the word selfless because that means they get something for nothing because they get to be selfish. The only reason why people don't like people whenever, like when other people are selfish or self-centered, it's because they can't get something from them. And so there's this belief that's been instilled in everyone to not worry about themselves. I mean, yes, be a service, please. But make sure you have enough food in your stomach and enough drink in your heart in order to even keep moving. Because straight up, if you're sick, you can't help people. I mean, you can, but it won't be to the best of your ability, and it would be actively ignoring your health. Is that what you want to do? You want to actively help people heal, but then not heal yourself? Woo! All right, I'm done. I knew I was gonna say something else, but it like just whew, right as I was starting to say it, just went out of my mind. So, if anything, to me, that's a sign that that was my intellect and not necessarily words that were meant to be spoken because it didn't come out. Okay. That no, it was about food. There's a situ. There's a yeah. No. Okay. I was supposed to say it because didn't. Here it is. There's like an overeating, undereating, vomiting situation. Maybe like a disordered eating, but all what I'm picking up is like sick from the energy, um, in general. But like also the eating is a sick from the energy. So, I also saw something else. Another video about a little while ago about how food, when you eat it, is energy. And a lot of times, people with anxiety and depression tend to be a little bit overeaters. Not all the time, just whenever they do eat, they eat a little too much. They don't eat till they're 3/4 full, they eat till they're 5/4 full. um, and whenever the body isn't able to do something with that, it will still use that energy, whether it be with the mind. And then whenever you aren't able to use all that energy on the mind, because the mind, the brain, the mind, the thoughts, it's very expensive, very taxing calorically. So it can use a lot of stuff. So it's almost like the body, in order to help digest the food, is then causing rapid thinking thoughts to help to burn off that energy. Because that's its job. The body's job is to, like, you gave me something, I will use that energy. It's a natural alchemist without you even trying, without you even thinking about it. Literally, involuntary muscles do it for you. You're an involuntary alchemist. um, and so then, like, whatever they can't burn off in that within that certain period of time through anxiety, through if you are moving, if you're able to move, but a lot of times we're pretty sedentary as a people. And so then it'll turn into fat stores because whenever we have fat, you can use that as energy. Those are energy stores. So the body is always doing stuff to keep that energy because you gave it energy. And if it's not able to use it all in that moment, it's going, okay, well, that's too much. I'm going to save this. Because I've had a windfall of energy and money. So instead of spending it all, one, because I literally have so much I can't even spend it. What a good problem to have. What an abundance you have. Um, and so then it stores it elsewhere for a later date if needed. A lot of times, we don't really get to the point where we need it because we be eating. We eat almost every day. And your relationship with food, getting to the point where you love it, because there was like a point where you really loved food. And even now you love it, but it's now more of like this toxic relationship, and like almost like the food is being abused. Like you're being abused too. You're abusing yourself in that way, like where you're just like I but it's also way easier said than done. We have to eat every day. We have to eat multiple meals a day. So and it's like it's hard to avoid the harsh relationship with food that exists in this life. Even whenever you are eating well, a lot of the food here is like still got something to worry about. And that's a big part of things too, is like there's a lot of worry and fear and anxiety around it. So you're like, okay, well, I could eat this, but if I eat this and this and this and this will happen. Well, if I eat this, well, it's really because I'm hungry right now and I haven't eaten all day. So if I just get this quick little sugar, if I get this quick little whatever, it's always like almost like whenever you do even have to think of eating, you're like, oh, fine, I will prepare the meal. And it's not like you do like food. You like the way it tastes, you like the way it feels in your belly, you like to eat. But then you're the one who's making it or getting it or having to decide what it is. Like, it isn't just here, put food in your mouth. There is an entire relationship with food of what's this next to that, and I need to cook it or I need to order it, I need to something. There is something that has to happen in order for food to get to you. Sort of. Depends on your situation. Because some people, I don't know, maybe you're getting cooked for it. And maybe the person who's cooking for you doesn't really love doing it all the time, or they want some help with it. But, the cook, they say to cook with love. And you can tell whenever people cook when they're bitter or if they're a little salty. Because it'll come out in the food. If they're thinking mean thoughts the whole time and they're frustrated and pissed off while they're cooking for you, you might taste that a little bit in the food. But bitters are good for digestion. Uh, and perhaps that's a thing too. I mean, honestly, if you're seeing me, most likely you got tummy issues. Because I got tummy issues heart, okay? Um and that's okay. That's just part of the journey. My tummy issues are much better now with intuitive eating and just respecting 737, as I say, that literally just turned to 737. And respecting and honoring my capabilities. Because sometimes I just don't want to cook. I got a whole family to cook for, y'all. I ain't just out here cooking for myself. I got multiple bodies and multiple mouths to feed. And so I don't get to just not cook. And like whenever it comes to buying food, that's gonna be a big bill. And I'd rather just buy the groceries because that's just me personally. I enjoy cooking. I enjoy making my meal. I enjoy getting little helping hands whenever I can get them, whenever they're actually trying to help. But it's still been a hard relationship for me to be okay with because I grew up in diet culture. I grew up in all these other things. And so having a good relationship with food is something that I am actively working on. Sometimes I'm still like, oh, I have to cook all this stuff. Oh, I have to eat 3 times today. And like, there was a point where I enjoyed intermittent fasting, and I still will intermittent fast. But it was getting to the point where I was so excited to fast and not eat that I felt like that was unhealthy. And so I was like, you know what? I think I should be also be super excited to eat too. So I changed that up because a lot of it to 2002, as I say that, a lot of this is about self awareness of what's good for you and when you and being able to see like, is this healthy for me? And sometimes even wondering, is this healthy for me? Is unhealthy for you? And figuring out whatever that balance is for you, for yourself, is is what you're allowed to do. But it is going to be hard work. You're allowed to have fun while doing the hard work because any other time, because you're surrounded with that energy, any other time without that energy around, this would be a difficult thing for you to do. It's difficult anyway. It's not fun, it's hard. But it's just a little less hard because you have that supporting energy around you now. So accept it, lean into it, trust it. And if you're having fun, if fun is at the center of it, then I can guarantee you're working closer to yourself. And not just fun for, literally fun for you. Is it fun for you? Is everybody else having a good time? Cool, whatever. You're used to everybody having a good time around you. You're the life of the party. And then you end up throwing up afterwards because you've just given everything to you. And it's not even from drinking. You're just drained and tapped of your energy. You over here and gave them all these laughs and all this fun and all this intellect, and all of a sudden you're done. So it's time. Is it fun for you? And if not, quit playing. Quit pretending like it is, because honestly, it's a waste of your energy. You're wasting your energy. You're wasting your time. You're lying to yourself. You're lying to them. Why are you doing that? Give yourself a break. Anyway, all right. I'm gonna go ahead and go to therapy, and I am gonna talk to my therapist, my counselor, um, about all my stuff. Therapy is good when you have a good therapist. So in the meantime, lovies, you keep a lookout for the numbers. Stay synchronized.